be a different week because hopefully the Colts are going to come out with the win. That's the only reason why I'm hoping it's going to be a different week, guys. Welcome back to the Blue Stable Podcast, the official Colts podcast of Fansided, guys. I am Michael Terrazas, as always. With me is Rashad McGinnis. Rashad, man, we've had some time to step away from the Bucs game. We've had some time to think about it, move on from it. But apparently a lot of people still don't want to move on from it for some whatever reason whatsoever. But we're not going to get into that. It's a new week. It's a new game. And we're going to get into the Colts, Texans. But first, guys, we do got to talk about what's going on in the AFC right now, getting into the playoff picture, looking at some potential games that will interest Colts fans now. Rashad, man, when you look at the AFC playoff picture, all right, just looking at the 7 teams, give me 2 teams, whether they're division leaders or not. Give me 2 teams who you think will fall out.
If I'm going with 2 teams I think will fall out, I'm going to go with the Cleveland Browns. I love their roster, but they just have too much inconsistent play at quarterback. Baker Mayfield just not getting it done. He's clearly hurt. And without him playing at his peak level, I just don't see them staying in. And I could get a couple teams. Pittsburgh for sure. I don't see them lasting. And I'm going to go with the Raiders, man, because we always see the Raiders collapse year after year. I know they don't have John Gruden anymore, so maybe they're taking on a new identity and they actually be able to finish down the stretch this year, but I don't see it. I'm going to go with the Raiders, Browns, and Pittsburgh for sure.
Yeah, I think I think you immediately think, of course, like Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Vegas. They're teams that are very inconsistent. Got some talent in some places, but still the roster building still needs to do a lot more. Pittsburgh, man, I don't know. There's probably some internal things they're dealing with right now after Mike Tomlin takes a little shot at Chase Claypool, and Chase Claypool's asking for more fun practices. I don't know, man. Maybe we need to make that a bigger deal than what it is. Maybe Mike Tomlin should have took that USC job. Who knows? No, man, that's all good fun and games. Looking at this, man, look, we stand at number 10. Clearly, we got to win 4 or 5 games. I don't know if winning 3 gets it done. Also, depending on who, I don't even think it depends on who you beat, honestly. I really don't. As long as you can get 3 out of these next 5, maybe do you get in? I don't know, because I'm looking at the picture and it's almost becoming quite obvious about who's going to get in. I mean, you look at the division leaders, you look at New England, they are on a hot streak right now. You look at Baltimore, they're winning games. Tennessee is imploding before our eyes. We did not jump on that chance to possibly catch them in the division. And then you look at the other division leader is Kansas City, and man, they're just all over the place. They are figuring it out a little bit more on the offensive side of the ball, which is where their whole identity lies. Looking at the wild card, you got Cincinnati, you got LA, and you have the Buffalo Bills. And the Colts are sitting at number 10 behind Denver and Las Vegas. So, man, if we're going to look at some matchups, and this is what I'm doing right now, looking at some matchups for this week, you look at a big one already. Cincinnati, LA are going to do some battle on Sunday. Who are you going for? You're probably going for Cincinnati, since LA is that number 7 team, and they're the ones that are, obviously the closest to fall out. And then you're looking at clearly a big one, Washington and Las Vegas. Hey, man, Washington's in the playoffs right now. I don't want to hear no crap about anything. I'm still watching them. I'm still rooting for them. So my take on them still stands true, just so you know.
They won't win that division, Mike. It's over.
Well, I'm not saying they're winning the division, but damn it, if they make the playoffs, that's still going to make me look good. So
they made the playoffs last year, so it's not
the Ravens, the Steelers. Clearly, if the Ravens could take care of business, the Steelers, they're already behind us. But as long as they can keep losing, right now, you do want New England, Baltimore to keep winning, Kansas City to keep winning, take on those division spots. And then possibly another big one, Kansas City and Denver on Sunday Night Football. That game was flexed, by the way, I believe. So
it was
clearly they're wanting to get into a big matchup right there. We'll be going for I'll be going for Kansas City. Then the big
fun stat. Broncos haven't beat the Chiefs since 2015. Just so you know, they lost 11 straight times. That's crazy, right?
Are you dead ass?
I'm dead ass.
Wow.
The last time the Broncos beat the Chiefs, Peyton Manning was the quarterback.
Damn. All right.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, John Elway has struggled mightily to find a quarterback, and you think a guy with his elite status could actually lay his eyes on a good quarterback. Clearly, that has not been the case. And then the Monday night game, New England and Buffalo.
That's a big one.
I'm going for New England. We got the tiebreaker over Buffalo. If we win, Buffalo loses, we could probably jump them and get into the playoffs. Who knows? But those are definitely some big matchups to watch. New England.
The good thing about that, not to cut your wisdom, is that if we beat the Patriots, we'll have the tiebreak over either one. So it won't even matter. You know, whichever one of them fall, we'll be able to get that tiebreaker from New England and Buffalo if we take care of our business with New England.
Yeah, that's
a big if.
That's a big if.
It's a big if.
Big giant if. But guys, that's been like a little quick look into the AFC playoff picture. Clearly, a lot of moving parts there. A lot of things are fluid. Week by week can change dramatically, and the Colts have got to start climbing right now. So getting into the injuries of this team right now, still looking a little bit healthy. And it's a good thing that the bye week is just around the corner. And what, Rashad and I discussed on the last show, do you go on vacation or do you stay put? You're in the middle of battle. This isn't like a week 6 loss or a week 6 bye. This is week 14. Do you stay at home, watch film on the Patriots, who you come right out of the gate and face, or, just get healthy, work on your P's and Q's clearly. But looking at the injuries here, definitely banged up after a physical contest. DeForest Buckner, clearly the biggest one, dealing with a knee foot injury. He did not practice on Wednesday, but was good to go in a limited capacity on Thursday. Same thing goes for Jack Doyle after a big game. What do you figure? He has a knee injury. Man, he runs like an old man. So when he has those big games, immediately assume that he's going to pop up on the injury report. You got Ryan Kelly with another knee injury. He was a full go today, but did not practice on Wednesday. Maybe it was just a precaution.
Probably a rest.
Yeah. Precautionary missed practice. Quentin Nelson, an ankle, did not participate again. All the DNPs were Quentin Nelson, Andrew Sendejo, Darius Leonard, Ryan Kelly, Jack Doyle, DeForest Buckner. But all of those guys did end up practicing the next day. So a good thing for things to come. Eric Fisher with a knee, limited, full. You know how I already feel about him.
Of course.
So, but the good thing he's healthy, though. At least he is still healthy. Rocky Sin popped up. Now, this is the big thing. He popped up on the injury report today in a limited capacity with a groin issue. Boy. I'm not sure if he heard it in the middle of practice. Kind of like with Julian Blackmon. Towards the end, he was a full go, but he popped his Achilles and he was immediately out, but he was listed as limited. Let's remember that. So for Rock, was he a full go and injured his groin and had to leave practice? I haven't seen an update on that by anyone that was at practice, the typical Colts media beat writers. So that's definitely something to monitor going up against Houston, but those are the injuries right there. Now it's time to get into the actual matchup. Rashad, this Houston team is a little bit different than we last saw. They're a little bit different. They did let go Whitney Merciless, who I think, alongside J.J. Watt in their prime, was, half and half the heartbeat of the defense. We know how big Whitney Merciless has meant to that squad. He was let go. I believe he went through waivers. He ended up signing. Who did he end up signing?
Green Bay, I believe.
Green Bay? Yeah, I was going to say that. Okay. Green Bay, obviously JJ Watt's in Arizona. So who's going to take over in that defense? There's been a disagreement of sorts between Justin Reed and the coaching staff. That's something big as well. Clearly dysfunction going on. So maybe Dave Cooley, can he get things under control? Who knows? I mean, I can't think of a worse organization to jump into for your first head coaching job. That's bad. That sucks. That's but I do commend him, because I mean, if it's a head coaching job, you got to take it, right? I mean,
absolutely.
Dave was never mentioned as a candidate, and when he finally gets a crack at a job, who knows? I mean, these jobs don't come around every year or maybe every decade for some coaches. So definitely credit to him for jumping on it. But Tyrod Taylor has entered the mix, Rashad. Those are the legs. Those are the veteran presence, how to take advantage of a defense like Indy. So the last game against Houston, it was a beatdown, basically.
Yeah.
But with Tyrod, in my opinion, I think it's going to be a much different game, honestly. He is a veteran. He's played in, Buffalo. He led them to the playoffs when they didn't have much of an offense. He played for Cleveland. He's been in all types of quarterback rooms, backed up guys, under good quarterback coaches and head coaches as well. Played on some good teams. So let's get into some matchups that we like and don't like, starting with the matchups we do like, Rashad. The matchup that I like is going to be, there is a few. There's clearly a lot to go around, but I'm going to go in a little different this time. I'm going to say our secondary against their wide receivers. We don't know if Kari Willis is going to be back this game. We don't know that yet. But either way, I still think with Isaiah Rodgers, the emergence of him, Rock Ya-Sin, we'll see where that injury goes. Xavier Rhodes, Kenny Moore, they should be able to take advantage of this wide receiver crew. So I'm going to clearly no one's going to follow anyone, but can you get physical? Can you take advantage of those matchups? That's definitely going to be something that I'm going to look into, and I think we have a big advantage there.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at it, the only person that got off in their passing game was Brandon Cooks. I believe he had 9 catches for 89 yards or 90 yards, something like that. He was the only one, even in the prediction video we did, we talked about Brandon Cooks being the only legitimate threat. And that's what it was. I'm not worried about these wide receivers at all. I think Eberflus needs to get a little aggressive with them and challenge them and make them beat you down the field. They haven't shown the ability to do that all season. And I don't think Tyrod Taylor is going to be able to do that. I do think it's going to be a different ball game, though. We picked on Davis Mills. Let's be honest. He threw 2 interceptions, got sacked a couple of times. He was rattled early in that game. I'm going to go with Jonathan Taylor against this front 7 from Houston. Taylor rushed for 145 yards the last time we played. That was really his first real breakout game that kind of got the ball rolling for him. I expect him to have similar success in this game. I don't even think he took him 20 carries to do it. He's going to be efficient. You're going to go to him early and often. Carson's going to work the play action game off of that. This game really shouldn't be close. We blew him out last time. It should be something similar. I'm expecting him to play better because Tyrod Taylor, like you said, is a veteran. He's a guy that's not going to get rattled. The moment's not going to be too big for him. He's going to show up and play satisfactory football. That's who he's been his whole career. He's a consummate professional. He's going to come in there and do his job. Nothing special, nothing to wow you. As long as you keep him in the pocket, keep him contained, shouldn't be no problem. Jonathan Taylor should easily have 100 yards today and a couple of touchdowns.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Clearly, the Colts are going to win the matchup up front. There's not too many. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, Ross Blacklock, DeMarcus Walker. Those are some good young players on the defensive line. Mm-hmm. Obviously, I'm a huge Ross Blacklock fan, former TCU Horned Frog, and he's playing in the city that he grew up in, so that's huge plus for him. In the run game, he is vital though for Houston. He's stepping into that role that DJ Reader was in for them before he left. And I mean, he is a big piece of that run defense, but getting into matchups that we don't like, I think Rashad, we're probably going to go with the same one. And it's okay if we do. because when we look at this matchup, we don't see too much that the Colts are worse at than the Texans. But we mentioned him earlier. Tyrod Taylor is back in the fold for Houston, and this is a veteran guy who has seen a lot of defenses. Even a vet like him, I think, can still pick apart a defense like us. Now, are his wide receivers going to help him out? I don't know. But the biggest matchup that I don't like is going to be the legs of Tyrod Taylor against our back. Well, I would say front seven or front six, rather.
Right.
It'll be the front six against Tyrod Taylor's legs. He is a guy who's going to run, who's actually going to possibly look to run before throw. And Davis Mills, he was a guy that you pick on. He was a rookie. You could pick on him a little bit. But with Tyrod, a guy like him, he's going to identify the lanes of where to run. Where are those pockets going to open up for me to run? That's the type of quarterback he's going to be. Now, there are other quarterbacks that can run like a Lamar Jackson, like a Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, but they're looking to pass first. And if they see those lanes open up in the middle of the play, they'll run it if they don't have any options. But with Tyrod, I feel like it's a little bit different because I think he did make his name for running the football as a quarterback, as an African-American quarterback. People always think, oh man, all they do is run. That's not true. He was trying to develop that arm in Buffalo, and he did a good job. I believe, what was it, the 2017 year when they made it to the playoffs, got to Jacksonville. That was obviously the year they made it to the AFC Championship game, but Tyrod has grown into a good quarterback, and I'm really nervous if our secondary is holding up, but where is he going to go with the football? That makes me nervous, man, because this is still a defense that even Davis Mills found pockets in. But remember what we said after that game, he was still moving the ball consistently. He just couldn't get past that 40, 30-yard line. That's when Matt Eberflus kind of made it a little bit more complicated for him, and he couldn't figure it out. So I don't think that's going to work with a guy like Tyrod Taylor, but I still think the Colts are favorable in the matchup. But that's just a matchup I see that gives me pause for concern.
Yeah, I definitely understand that. It's imperative that those guys keep him contained in the pocket and make him beat them from the pocket if he's going to beat them. Like you say, Davis Mills was, he completed a lot of passes. He completed 29. It was 29 for 43. He completed a lot of passes. So Tyrod Taylor's not the same type of quarterback as Davis Mills. Not going to use his arm as much to beat you from the pocket. He's going to try to run around and create things, broken plays. So I understand your cause for concern. My matchup I don't like is going to be, I wouldn't have thought it, but it's going to be this Houston run game against the Colts. Colts run defense was supposed to be a strength. We saw Leonard Fournette obliterate them last week, have 100 yards, 3 touchdowns on the ground. He also caught a touchdown. Last time we played Houston ran the ball for 125 yards as a team total. Now, the bulk of that was done by Mark Ingram, who's no longer there, and the rest of it was done by Philip Lindsay. Guess what? He's no longer there. So it's going to be up to David Johnson to get that Houston run game going. And then with the added threat of Tyrod Taylor, that's run yards as well that we have to be concerned of. So me and Mike is pretty much saying the same thing, stop the run. We don't expect these guys to line up, spread you out, and throw the ball on you. They're going to try to Houston, this is one of those trap games where Houston's going to throw everything they have out of the playbook. They're going to throw the kitchen sink at you. You just have to be prepared for stuff like this. I can see a fake punt. I can see an onside kick. Anything they can do to kind of get that offense going, because when you can't just line up traditionally and move the ball, you're gonna try trickery and innovative ways to get momentum. And I can see Houston doing that type of thing. The crowd's gonna be rocking down there. So the Colts really just have to stay calm, stick to their guns, and do what they do, man. And they should be fine.
Yeah, and before we get into keys to the game and predictions, guys, I do have to go back to that episode of Hard Knocks last night. It was a really special episode, obviously, about the Kenny Moore story and the Garveys, if I want to, if that was correct. Man, what a story. What a story. You really saw a genuine side of Kenny Moore that we all think we saw,
Absolutely.
but we really didn't see it until that episode last night. I do like the things Hard Knocks does, especially getting a season in season. That sounded weird, but getting a show
I get
in
exactly
season
what you're saying.
rather than training camp. I liked it. I know everybody made a big deal about Quentin Nelson going to Frank Reich, and they just kept. I'm like, oh my gosh, Quentin Nelson had to go to Frank Reich and beg him, all that stuff. But one of the biggest things, and like even going back to that, and I wish we probably would have started the show off with this rather than saying it in the middle of a preview here. But man, even Reich said before the game in the middle of the week, this is a game we have no margin for error. This is a game that we can't make mistakes in, and this is the game that you made quite a few mistakes in. I mean, it's not a coaching thing because he's literally getting these guys ready and telling them you can't have a margin for error. You can't.
Absolutely not.
And I do commend Quentin Nelson going to Frank Reich man to man, face to face. Hey man, let's get a run play going. And that kind of like he literally said a straight up run play. I believe that's what he said.
Yeah.
That basically exactly confirms what we've talked about. Frank Reich doesn't call straight up run plays. He doesn't do that. It is an RPO system. Now, he did go to him, ask for it, and people will say, oh my gosh, look at that. That's not how football works again, guys. But man, even honestly, I was on my couch last night. I was watching it on HBO Max, the app. One thing I've noticed, man, it's like from the Jets game to the Bills game to the Bucks game. I'm not sure if this is just me and my imagination, but you could just hear the belief in Frank Reich's voice in this defense is fading week by week. You can hear it, in my opinion. You can. In the Jets, let's go defense, let's go defense. Bills, defense, let's go. Against the Bucks. All right, defense. All right. Please, for the love of God. Like, oh man, I wanted to see his reaction, but Hard Knocks did not show his reaction that drive. They did
there was a reason for that, The Colts get to edit this thing and get the have the final say before this type of stuff come out. So Frank Reich's not going to let that happen.
Yeah, because a part of Hard Knocks, and I believe you know this too, Rashad. Part of Hard Knocks, if you're gonna record a team, you're in the confinements of their space, of Absolutely. Their property. So you have to show them your film, what you've seen, and the team, their media team, gets with Hard Knocks, and this is any franchise that Hard Knocks has been to. Get with Hard Knocks, they cut it out, they have a say on the music they add. They have a say on the narration. They have all that.
Yeah, never think that they're seeing it for the first time when we see it. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah. Chris Ballard's like, oh no, I'm not about to let that shit out there. No, we keep things out in house in Indy. But one thing I did like that I was laughing again is when they showed Matt Eberflus in the defensive meetings, bro. The defensive players are looking at him like. Like, dude, read body language.
Read the room.
In my opinion, dude, this defense is wearing out. They're getting tired of them.
I think they need the bye week, man. I think they need it a lot more than the offense needed. This defense definitely needs this bye week, man, to kind of rejuvenate. Hopefully they go out here and get a blowout, man, and get to that bye week and recharge the battery a little bit, because we're going to need them down the stretch, especially coming up with this Patriots and then Arizona game, man. That's a deadly combo right there.
Yep. Kyler Murray, DeAndre Hopkins making their return, I believe, this week or the next. They're, Arizona's still trying to figure it out.
They'll be back for us for sure.
Probably, man. I'm not looking forward to these games whatsoever, man.
Not at all.
I'm not looking forward to the Patriots. I'm not looking forward to the Cardinals. I'm not. Oh man, dude, they better not ruin my damn Christmas, man. That's all I know. They better not. I swear.
They just might.
Nah, I'm not going to accept that. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. I don't allow it. Getting into the keys, let's get back on track with the Houston Texans, man. We got to talk about Colts Hard Knocks, man. Well, we got 2 episodes left.
Yeah.
That's gonna be big time. So getting into the keys to victory, man, dude. Keys to victory. I'll just say it, man. Score 1 more point than the Texans. That's just the offense is gonna do their thing, but the defense is the defense. So can you score more than 1 point than the Houston Texans? And the Houston Texans has been gaining some heat. I'm not sure if we've been paying close attention.
They beat the Titans 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, we haven't been paying close attention to the Texans. We think they're playing for a bye week, all that stuff, or they're bye week. They're playing for a draft pick, all that stuff. But they are competing. They are competing right now. So they're coming with a vengeance to ruin. They know what we're trying to do. They know we're trying to get into the playoffs. They're trying to hurt our chance. They're a division rival. Regardless, if one team is 0-9 and the other one is 9-0, 0-9 is going to get up for that game, and they are going to want to beat the holy hell out of you. That's just how sports is. Not even football, just sports in general. In general. So score 1 more point.
My key to victory, I could go with the obvious and say just give Jonathan Taylor the ball 15 to 20 times. I know some people want him to touch it a lot more than that, but that's just where I'm at with it. As long as he's touching the ball anywhere from 18 to 22, and that's passing and that's receiving and rushing.
Yep.
I'm perfectly fine with that. But I'm gonna go with, it's kind of obvious, get T.Y. Hilton involved. He's the Texan killer. He's going back to Houston, his second home. And he loves to make a statement, man. Let's be honest here. He came back. He started the season against the Texans. I think he had 80 yards, had a big catch from Carson Wentz. And he caught a touchdown last week. It's good, but let's be honest here. The Colts have been having a huge hole at wide receiver 2 this year. Nobody really complimenting Michael Pittman. And I think would be poetry if we could get that wide receiver 2 spot to contribute and actually help Michael Pittman out. And T.Y. Hilton, who what better time to get him involved than against his Texans? I mean, he is the mayor of Houston. He did build that stadium. So why not get that guy going? I don't know if he's going to bring out the clown mask, but he just might. This is T.Y.'s stomping ground. So hopefully we could get some action from that number 2 spot. And Michael Pittman have a bounce back game, please, bro.
Yeah, please, for the love of God, we need it. Zach Pascal, T.Y. Hilton, been a little bit underwhelming. Clearly, people keep asking, why is Mike Strachan not playing? He's still developing, man. He's still developing. He does not know the whole playbook. And that's what Frank Reich wants all of his wide receivers to know. The entire playbook, whether you play the X, the Z, or the Y, inside out. That's just how it is in his system. And he has not done that yet. So that's just where it's at with Mike Strachan. So getting other guys involved, hell, get Ashton Doolin some more plays. I've even said it, man. If he can play tight end, line him up where Mo Alley-Cox does, man. Line him up. Hell, he can block too. Line him up. He can run a better route. He's faster, more reliable hands. Do it. Hell.
Granson.
Hey, him too, man. Him too, or just draft Isaiah Likely in the draft. That's all good too. So
not likely. I'm gonna be telling you that off season.
Don't be saying not likely, man. You acting like you're a first round pick, man. Stop it. He's gonna be a 3rd or 4th rounder. But getting back into the keys to victory, I just have one more. Man, contain Tyrod Taylor. Got to contain him. You have to. The Houston Texans offensive line again is not good. So Kwity Paye. You've played Houston a little bit earlier. Now you're coming into your own. You're improving. You're clearly seeing the development before your eyes. Can you get hot? Dio didn't get a chance to play against Houston. He'll be in this game. Can he get hot? That's where it's going to be. Contain Tyrod Taylor. Do not let him run wild. If he gets active with his feet, man, it is going to be a long Sunday, longer than what it should be, honestly. And that's just where I'm at with this matchup. So getting into the predictions, guys, Rashad, I'm going to start with you, man. Is it are the Colts on upset watch? You know, we're going to throw a little bit of college in here, all right? What are they on upset watch? Is this a trap game?
It definitely is a trap game, but the Colts will not lose this game. I'm going to go with a score of Indianapolis Colts 34, Houston Texans 17, 34-17. Colts double them up. I think the Texans turn the ball over 3 times. I think the Colts turn it over once. Colts forced the most turnovers in the league so far, have the highest turnover differential, even though they turned it over 5 times last week. Damn it.
Yep.
I think they bounce back this week. They forced 3 turnovers, and they get the win 34-17. What you got, Mike?
Oh, man. I'm going to go a little bit closer. I'm going to go a little bit closer. I am actually going to go 31-26. I'm going to go 31-26. I think it's just I genuinely like Tyrod Taylor, and I do like him as a quarterback. Hell, if he's available this offseason, screw Sam Ehlinger. Get him as your backup quarterback.
Well, he would be a perfect backup.
He would be a perfect backup.
He would.
A perfect backup, especially in RPO. That would just be beautiful.
I know. I would love Tyrod as a backup.
I just think, you know, we've kind of forgotten who he is and what he's capable of. And he's put that on display the last 2-3 weeks he's been playing. So I even had to go back and make sure I know the Texans team. And whoa, Tyrod Taylor adds a whole new dimension to their offense.
It's a different team than what we saw. It's a completely different team.
Yes, and hopefully there's a different game plan because you are not going against some weird kid from Stanford. You're just not. So weird guys, kid from Stanford. Before we get out of here, guys, it is championship weekend in college football. There's big things going on. Clearly, if you're following me on Twitter, you know I am heavily involved with TCU. Rashad is happy with Lincoln Riley and USC. Brian Kelly being the utmost prick and just leaving Notre Dame the way he did. But, you know, Marcus Freeman, my dog, my man, happy for him. He deserves that Notre Dame job, man. I was gonna bang the table for him this offseason to be our DC, but unfortunately I can't have nice things. So Rashad, when it's all said and done on Saturday, who is your top 4 to get into the college football playoff?
Mike, put me on the spot. I'm going to go with, in no particular order, Georgia, Cincinnati, Michigan, and Alabama. Come on, Mike. Alabama is going to beat Georgia. Alabama is going to beat Georgia Saturday in an upset. Can't believe I'm saying Alabama's going to upset somebody, but it would be an upset. Alabama's going to beat Georgia. Alabama and Georgia's going to get in the playoffs because Georgia only has 1 loss at that time. Cincinnati is going to win out, and Michigan is going to win.
Okay.
There you have it.
There you have it. Honestly, man, it would be typical college football for there to be total chaos. Chaos. Cincinnati lose, Alabama lose, even Michigan, will they lose? And dude, this is just me, and I know a majority of our fans are Indiana Hoosier fans, Purdue Boilermaker fans, Notre Dame fans. But dude, how crazy would it be if Michigan, Cincinnati, Alabama lost and Notre Dame somehow got in the college football playoff? How, and Notre Dame went on to win the national championship, which we know won't happen, but dude, just imagine. That
would be insane. Brian Kelly probably be punching the air at home.
Marcus Freeman about to be like this because I'm getting a new contract this offseason, motherfuckers.
On the spot. I need my money on the spot.
On the spot, man. Even if he's on stage, they're about to hand him the national championship trophy. Man, get me out of there, man. Where that checkbook at?
Right.
Checkbook at? That's what I want to hold, man. Let the players hold that trophy. I want the checkbook. Where you
Get
at?
these boosters down here.
Right. Get them damn boosters. Bring your white asses down here. Come on. Come on. But me personally, Georgia, I honestly don't think Alabama, Georgia will be close. I think Georgia's defense is ferocious. Like we've seen Alabama. This Georgia defense is one of the best defense I've ever laid my eyes on. The talent on the defensive line. Linebackers are running everywhere. Safeties, corners, attention to detail, physicality, perfect technique everywhere. Shout out to Kirby Smart and Dan Lanning, which is why I wanted that motherfucker as our DC. Unbelievable. Alabama, the receiver talent is there's a drop off from what you had last year and the years prior. There's a drop off. The offensive line, clearly with Neal there, you think you have an edge. Bryce Young, I can't even believe I'm asking this about a Nick Saban football team.
He's a dude.
But is Alabama tough enough to go beat Georgia? I can't even believe I uttered those words.
That's a good question.
That's a legit question. Georgia is something else. Georgia is something else. Cincinnati, you'll beat Houston, a ranked team. Committee has them ranked. That's another strong win on your resume.
Mm-hmm.
Oklahoma State. The defense is something special. I'm telling you, if there's a way we can get Malcolm Rodriguez to Indianapolis as a draft pick, as a linebacker, that dude is a leader. He is instinctual. He is smart. He is just downhill what this type of defense needs, especially if I anticipate a new DC coming to town. Get him to Indy, man. That is the linebacker play I watched in Bedlam by him was amazing. Technique, beautiful. They'll beat Baylor. I honestly think they'll crush Baylor, honestly. They are on a roll. Mike Gundy playing that CEO role, not really too much coaching during the game, standing on the side, watching how things go. Clearly working. Spencer Sanders, if he's not a quarterback in the NFL, man, he's got a good future as a wideout. He's got some speed to him. He's definitely got some speed.
He has some juice. I like him.
Michigan, man.
Michigan,
defense.
bro.
That
great pass rush. Hutchinson and Ojabo, bro. Woo.
Honestly, man. Okay, so here's my thing. Now, I haven't watched. I'll even admit this publicly on the show. I haven't done too much scouting on Hutchinson and Ojabo. But just my quick initial look, I think I've watched maybe, 2-3 games worth of them so far. I honestly think in the NFL, I think maybe Ojabo might have the better career. I think. And maybe that's just the games I've watched. He faced worse tackles. Maybe that's it. But that's why I'm preferencing. I haven't done a full evaluation. I might come back to this in March and say, damn, I was a dumbass right there.
But Ojabo's going to be good, bro. I think he's going to be good. I think they're both going to be good. Hutchinson might be special, though. He has potential to be special.
He definitely has potential. I was waiting for this Ohio State game to see how he would perform. They're not like what I consider top 3 round picks. I don't think that Ohio State has that at tackle this year, but definitely still respectable tackles that you went up against. And he
got credited with 15 pressures, bro.
I counted like about 30 snaps. He Hutchinson just beat the left tackle straight up. Whether if it was an inside rush, outside rush, bull rush, whichever one.
15 pressures, bro.
Yeah. And when you look at him, man, he's got baby fat. He look goofy, bro.
He does. He
he was part of the chess club. I mean,
right,
dude, you know that. But damn, if you go on the field with him, you're gonna get annihilated.
Yeah.
So
I need to join a chess club.
Man, nah. Georgia, I am a big fan of Cincinnati, man. I want to see a Cincinnati, Georgia rematch. I want to see it. Even though Cincinnati might get obliterated, I want to see it. I want to see it.
They will.
I want to see it. Freaking Ahmad Gardner, Kobe Bryant. Again, honestly, when we get to the draft, honestly, because we pay nothing but attention to Ahmad Gardner. We don't bother looking at anyone else. But I looked at, I'm like, who is their counterpart? Because if they're not going to target him, who are they going to target on the other side? Kobe Bryant is so good, dude. I wouldn't be surprised if his draft stock shot up this offseason. I wouldn't be surprised if he became a second round pick. I wouldn't be surprised. I like him. I think he's the type of corner Ballard likes.
I never watched him, but I see the size and the traits that he has, and I have to really watch him to see his technique and everything else and see what he has to clean up. But I'm interested to see him play. I'm interested to see all these games this weekend, to be honest, man.
Yeah. I mean, we could have had freaking James Wiggins instead of drafting that Sean Davis dude. Let me stop being foul, man. He still got to develop. Let me give him 3 years before I start saying something, unless like it takes like 6 years, like Mo.
No, you'll start next year.
Probably. Who knows? Maybe he's playing by then, guys. But we did venture off away from the Texans here, guys. We just got to talk about college football because this is big. It is. Man, this is as entertaining as college football has been in a while. So I don't know about y'all, but I cannot wait. I'm for sure watching Oklahoma State Baylor. I'm for sure watching Cincinnati Houston, and I'm watching Michigan and Iowa. I don't know if I'm going to watch Georgia and Alabama just because you got to have that break in between the day. But other than that, guys, Rashad, you got anything else before we get out of here?
No, man. This weekend's big weekend. Let's go get the division win and head to the bye week on a high note, man.
Let's go, man. Man, I know these players can't wait for the bye week, man. They really can't. Dude, can you imagine playing 13 straight games in the NFL?
That's grueling, man.
That is grueling. That is bad.
Yeah,
that is grueling. Bad. The NFL should be ashamed of themselves, bro.
And remember, everybody's talking about Frank Reich is 3-0 coming off a bye. Y'all are correct. But New England will be coming off a bye too. And Bill Belichick's record is not too shabby coming off a bye week. So let's keep that in mind as well.
Hey, at least this time around, fingers crossed, knocking on wood, we're going to have a lot of players not on the injury report. Yes, sir. We did in 2018 when he got lucky that time. Bill Belichick did. So, guys, once again, we will be back on Monday. Hopefully, definitely, for the love of God, hopefully, talking about a Colts victory over the Houston Texans, guys. So once again, here's Rashad McGinnis. I am Michael Taraz. This is the official Colts podcast of Fansided, the Blue Stable podcast. Have a good weekend. Enjoy Championship Saturday. Please control yourself when the picks are made on Sunday morning. But nothing else from me. See you next week.
Peace.